Hey, Graded Doors. For some reason, it's not showing you as online. Okay, that's better. No, I see it. I see it now. No, it's my... I don't know. YouTube is a little bit laggy. I don't know if I'm going to find any online matches because this doesn't exactly have the largest community. But it's okay. I wouldn't want it to go mainstream and then like turn to crap. So I guess I prefer, you know. Enjoy the minority status? Yeah. I just, you know, when you get into something that's like you have an interest and it's a little bit like obscure, or I don't want to say fringe because that's a little too far, but like it's not mainstream. It's like just on the cusp. I think that's when the community in that area is like, you know, the least obnoxious. Because like there's something about when it's ultra fringe, the people involved, they treat it like it's, you know, like it's theirs, and I think it gets a little too, there's a little too much purity testing that goes on. But then when it goes really mainstream, that's when it gets like, you know, that's when wokeness comes in, and it's like, oh, it's profitable now, and we're gonna, you know, or whatever. It just loses its soul. So I like it when it's popular enough that it has, you know, some people that are not insane, that are mostly involved, but it's not like trying to appeal to like everybody. And so, you know, like I mean, in a way, that's the problem with Dragon Ball Z. Like Dragon Ball Z, when I found it, it wasn't available in America as a show at all. Nobody knew about it. I didn't really know what was going on because it was in Japanese and nobody had subtitled it or anything. So I had to watch it and guess what the plot was. I got like these bootleg recordings of it, so you didn't even have like anything in order. I didn't know what order it was in. I was just watching what was there. Hey, a Norwegian. So like, so you know, I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know what it was about, but I liked what I was seeing. And so at that stage, you know, it wasn't even like, I don't know, in a way it wasn't even enjoyable for people that were interested because there was so few involved and even fewer that knew what it was. But then when Dragon Ball came on television, and it was like dubbed in English and stuff, I got really into it. Actually, before that, there was another show called Dragon Warrior based on Dragon Quest that Akira Toriyama made, and that I got to watch that like maybe 2 years or so before Dragon Ball came to the States, and I loved it. Again, didn't quite know what was going on, but I learned as I was watching Dragon Ball, but like then it was on Toonami, and that's what like really Dragon Ball Z just blew up in America. And that's cool. Like, I'm glad that it has its fan base and its followers, and I like Dragon Ball to an extent. I actually have the Dragon Ball Z game. I might play that online as well sometime. But for me, Dragon Ball Z dies after the Cell Saga. I was just tuned out, didn't want to watch it anymore. And now they're still putting out stuff, you know, and it's like, this is when it goes so mainstream that even the people that created it can't stop producing content for it. And I don't want that to happen to JoJo, you know? I'm waiting on another player to join my game. I'm trying to play an online match. Oh, there we go. New challenger arrives. That's cool. Great Jojos, I wonder how many are still playing Friday the 13th. That was a fun multiplayer. Oh, yeah, man. I don't think there are, but I did really like it. I did really like it. What's that? Online ID? Refuse opponent. No, we'll do it. That's fine. Oh, he left. Why'd you leave? You know, the netcode on this is kind of garbage for the online, but I still think, you know, it'd be good to play. Is this the same guy? I fought a guy who was a Jonathan Joestar main, like, I don't know, a couple weeks ago. I beat him several times, and he beat me once and left. But I'm trying to play some rank matches so I can get the trophy. And that exclamation mark would go away because it's bothering me, my OCD. So anyway, yeah. So like the Dragon Ball game's really well made. Arc System Works is the developer, and they do really good stuff. What's that you're drinking? It's coffee. Coffee. My afternoon cup. I don't know, but if you guys know, but in Puerto Rico, this is just my, you know, custom, I guess. And I'm not saying it's exclusive because this is probably true in other parts. But there's always an afternoon coffee right around 3 p.m. It is now 3 p.m. here in Chicago, and I'm having my afternoon coffee. And my wife doesn't like me drinking coffee in the afternoon because she's afraid it ruins my sleep. I don't think... Dude! Why does he keep running? See, this is not what I want the streams to be. I'm trying to... So Mr. 0303, which is one of our patrons, he bought this game because he's a big JoJo fan like me. Although I've read almost all of it. I haven't like caught up on the newest stuff because I've been doing other things, but like I plan on catching up. And I told him this is a good fighting game because it is. Like, you know, a lot of times fighting games or just games in general based on established properties, most of the time they're not good. Okay, like. They're just sort of like fan servicey things. And around the 80s, 90s, and 2000s, when there was like a property like Dragon Ball, for example, and they would make an adaptation of it, it was always like really phoned in. It wasn't very good, but it had the branding, and so people would buy it for those reasons. But I think more recently there's been like a larger effort on people who are in love with the IP that develop games to do a really good job. And not just in Japan, but also in the West. You mentioned the Friday the 13th game. The developers of that game were obvious gigantic fans of the Friday the 13th film franchise because there's references to every movie, even the shitty ones. Like, you know, even the ones that people want to forget, like Part 5 or Part 9, which they don't call Part 9. For like licensing reasons. Like New Line Cinema bought the rights to Friday the 13th, but they couldn't use Friday the 13th in the titles anymore. So like Jason Takes Manhattan is like the first, and that's the 8th movie. Although people still call it Friday the 13th Part 8. But when they made the game based on that franchise, it was really, really good. Like the music, the sound effects, they got like even the maps are reminiscent of the films. Like very, very well done. And that same developer went on to make another game, which I also bought. Unfortunately, I didn't play it nearly as much, called Predator Hunting Grounds. And it's based on the movie Predator, so it's based on the Predator IP. And that one's super great too, because it's the same kind of idea. You have a fire team, you know, and they're like soldiers and or mercenaries, and they go into a jungle location, and there's like AI enemies, and they have to like accomplish missions. And then one player is the Predator, and the Predator has to like use all of its abilities to hunt and kill as many of the fire team as possible. So, and that one's a lot of fun too. But the problem, I bet this is the same guy. Oh no, it's not. Okay, we'll try it. I don't know who this guy's gonna play as, but we'll see. The references to the shitty movies are the turd cherries on top. Yeah, it is true. Coffee's man fuel. Yeah. Well, I have morning coffee and I have afternoon coffee. So this is afternoon coffee. So he's being whole horse? Did we not even pick characters? I might be in trouble. Am I stuck with Whamu now? Wow, this guy's connection is awful. Oh, I'm Dio? Wait, did I not get to pick who I play as? I'm super confused. Am I whole horse? I am. Okay. Alright, this isn't too bad. No, this connection is awful. Oh my god. He's gonna dodge that because he can see it or block it. Oh my goodness. Is that all? What are you doing? Are you just gonna mash? Oh my goodness. I'm sorry. This is so bad. I might have to just leave this game. That's funny how that works. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Wow. This connection is so bad. Well, you're probably better off playing against ChatGPT. Yeah, probably. My wife is calling, but I'll call her back. Oh my goodness. Let me just see if I can finish this match, and then I'm gonna leave. I don't want to like. Okay. He's gonna finish that combo because I think this guy only knows how to do like one kind of combo. Oh, he's doing the super too. Okay. Oh my goodness. He's playing the dark side of the moon. This is a bad connection. I never had it. I've played this online a couple times. It's never been this bad. Oh no. No you don't. No you don't. It's almost like reading the manga. Oh my goodness, this is so bad. This is so bad, guys. Oh, that was good. All right, that's good. Oh my goodness. And I do pretty good combos with him too, but did he do the time stop? Oh shit, he's gonna hurt me pretty bad. Unless he can't. Is he gonna do his ult? He might do his ult. He doesn't have to get that close though. Yeah, he's gonna do his ult. My goodness. Oh my goodness, this is so bad. I'm gonna stop after this, and well, I'm gonna play, but I'm not gonna play online anymore. This is abysmal, man. Whatever, I'll take it. It's a win. Oh my god, this is bad. God damn it, guys. I'm sorry. Maybe I get... Look, my connection isn't bad. I don't even know what that means. Like... I mean, I have it plugged in and all that, so I'm just gonna go back out and do, I don't know what that is. It's the net code. It's bad. Sad boy transmitting. All right. I'm sorry, guys. That was terrible. Let's just do arcade. I gotta text Lindsay to let her know that I'm okay. All right. Woo! So, I don't know if you guys know, I'm just going to say it again. I'm on Twitter. I'm going to play AC/DC because I'm wearing an AC/DC shirt. FromSoft had the right idea of booting people out of multiplayer if their FPS is too low. Did they do that with FromSoft? You talking about like Elden Ring or Dark Souls or something? Alright, anyway. Let's do that and that. And then I'll team him up with Wemu. No, let's do cars. Unbelievable. That was the worst connection I've ever seen. Am I drinking afternoon coffee? No, it's just I drop her off at work, and I think that she just makes sure that I got home okay. Ever since I got back from the hospital, she's been doing that. I haven't played this in a while either. Oh, okay, okay. Dark Souls 3 made you play single player if your frame rate is abysmal. Oh, did they tell you when that's happening? Oh, I think I got him. Yeah. I try to play Dark Souls 3 on a shitty Dell PC with less than 20 FPS. Well, FPS is that's more to do with your build, right? I mean, I assume. Like you know, because I'm on a console, everybody's got the same, you know, everybody's I guess speed is the same in terms of frame rate, but it's the net code that's the problem, or it's their internet connection, you know. I mean, I don't know. Like I played matches on here before, where it wasn't like, it was obviously not 1-to-1. Like, it wasn't really good, but it was good enough that it didn't look like nobody knew what they were doing. So. Hey, don't beat on me. He's bullying me. Josuke has got the same hairdo as the robot chick from Blade Runner. Oh, Sean Young? Yeah, that's true. It's a pompadour is all. Nice. Ooh. Oh, it missed. That's a little hard. That's tricky to do. That one. Oh. Oh shit. Man, Josuke's putting in work. That wasn't really the big finish I wanted. My PC only had onboard graphics on the CPU, and yes, it was a hardware issue in my case. Yeah, well, but still, I mean, I don't think it's a bad idea to, you know, like, basically put limits on people's access if their computers aren't up to snuff. I mean, within reason, because, like, you should know, like, is my machine going to run this, right? I don't think that's unfair. I mean, it can't be helped, right? And I mean, video games are only going to get more and more demanding. Have you seen the sizes of some of these games now? It's fucking crazy. Somebody asked about Baldur's Gate. So like, I heard I want to get it because I wanted to do a Baldur's Gate like a party of like badgers. I think that could be fun. Oh my god, this fucking guy. You got ice, you got ice. Making me cry. Stop it. Stop talking. All this blocking. Should make a party of all LGBTQ, etc. characters as a joke. No, I can't do that, man. It's just, it just hurts my soul too much. Oh, you motherfucker. You made me do that. Here come the rappers. The raptors, not rappers. Oh, I remember the combo now. Wait. I remember a combo with him. I guess. Stop it. No. No, that was wrong. I shouldn't have done that. Parappa the Rappa. Never mind. Chance the Raptor. I can only stay until about 4, and then I gotta take the dog out, do some things around the house, and then get ready for my show tonight. So tonight we're gonna be talking about there was this guy. I wasn't gonna cover it until I found out what the more details, but the media is reporting that there's this guy who was a donor. They called him a top donor at the Sound of Freedom fundraiser, and that he was like he was accused of kidnapping a child. So the assertion or the accusation is, you know, hypocrisy, right? Oh, these people are QAnon conspiracy theorists, and on top of that, they're like child, you know, traffickers themselves. But the truth is so crazy, because it's like he's like a property owner that was giving a space to a person that whose child was being like there's a child custody thing, and he was helping someone. So it's just crazy, man. I thought, oh, well, whatever. Get on the ground. I was getting at Baldur's Gate, but I'm worried that the character creator isn't the only thing that's woke. Oh, I'm sure of it. Yeah, I'm with you on that though. Like, part of me is like, well, I'd like to, because I love D&D, but I feel like it's not gonna be the game that I grew up with, man, at all, and that's what worries me. Fucking Shigeki. You can trust the MSM to be completely butcher the truth in favor of the narrative. Yeah, so that's one thing we're gonna cover, because obviously it's not just because, you know, they're like running cover for groomers and child traffickers for some reason, which again, one can only speculate, even though I know that doing that is engaging in conspiracy theories. You know, conspiracy theories like patriarchy and white supremacy and climate catastrophe and things like that. So we don't want to do that. And then the other thing is that, like, this is a man that's trying to help someone in their own sort of child custody struggle, and they're trying to paint him out to be like a sexual criminal, which is insane, because it's probably it could get this guy killed if people believe it, and they don't have any intention of clearing the air on that. It's absolutely ridiculous. So that's one story. The other one we're going to cover is Anita Sarkeesian's Feminist Frequency has been shut down. And people are, let's say, prematurely celebrating, thinking that this is some kind of win, and that, like, feminism BTFO'd, right? Which I think is absolutely short-sighted. And not at all rooted in reality. So... how's the climate catastrophe in Virginia this summer, and any tornadoes? Yeah, right, in between heat waves. I threw it on the ground. how's the volume? Am I like fighting too much with the sound of the game, or is it, or anything like that? Out of curiosity. Hey, TJWK 2023. Does that mean something? That name? Oh no, it didn't work. I got him. Norway was supposed to burn to a crisp this summer, judging by the news articles. Yeah, right. Well, that's what I'm saying, you know, but those are not, that's the science. That's not conspiracy theory. Patriarchy, that's the science. White supremacy, that's the science, right? Safe and effective, that's the science. Not like, oh, you know, sex trafficking that's being completely like bogarted by the media and the academics and the politicians and all the people with influence. No, that's not happening. You're crazy, right? I'm like so done with like playing nice with these people. Their lies are so destructive. And you know, if they knew, if it was true, well, if it wasn't true, then they would be able to show evidence, or at least not try to censor everyone that tries to talk about it, because that is more telling than anything else, right? So. So when they tell you that Anita is no longer, like, the feminist frequency is gone, what does that mean? Do you think that means that she's not doing anything anymore in that world? Are you really that stupid? Okay. A donor kidnapped a child, Brian. That means that child abductions is a conspiracy. Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. Well, no, they're saying it's not happening. Why? I mean, is it because like the gender or the race of the people that are responsible is an inconvenient thing that we're not allowed to talk about? Because that's what I think. Oh. V is doing a live stream about her at this very moment. What does he do? What is he doing though? What is he like? What do you mean? Let's go, let's go. So I mean, what is he saying? I guess if you're watching it while you're watching me at the same time. First of all, how dare you? Boda says they want to distract us from the child trafficking that Israel is behind. Jeffrey Epstein. That's all I got to say about that. But it would be nice to investigate. It would be nice to investigate. It would be nice to get to the bottom of it. No one has made any allegations or anything. By the way, guys, speaking of Sound of Freedom, I went to the theater on Sunday afternoon to watch a matinee of it. I don't know if you know. Stop it. And so I gotta tell you, so I went on Sunday to watch it, okay? Lindsay and we got tickets. Well, actually, I didn't even buy them in advance. So the last time I went to a theater, just so you know how long it's been, and I used to go to the movie theater almost every weekend with my friends, my boys in Chicago. Me and the boys would go to the theater to watch a movie almost every weekend, especially when there was nothing but in the summertime, you know, and you get like anticipated movie after anticipated movie in like the 90s, the 2000s, and the I would say like the early to mid 2010s. Okay, nothing but just movies. Like some of them were bad, but like usually, you know, there was something to watch in the summer almost every weekend, and we would go to the theater. I was always going to the theater, and back then, if it was like a big movie, like I remember The Dark Knight, for example, huge fucking movie. Like you had to buy your tickets in advance. The theaters were packed. We were watching all the Marvel movies, all kinds of stuff, right? Lord of the Rings, you know, man, the packed theaters. You had to buy your tickets in advance. Ellie Salazar says, "Can you play online?" I can. I mean, do you have this game? We can do some matches. Follow me on PlayStation Network. I want to say that my screen name is Zanamaru. I'll put it in there in the chat, so you can add me if you are on PSN. I'm not sure how it works, but I will put that, and then let me know. Send me a friend invite, and I'll add you, and we can play some matches. So, anyway, what was I saying? So yeah, so I used to go to the theater all the time. Like I was a theater junkie. I loved it. I loved the experience, getting the popcorn, watching the ads. PS4. I don't have a PS5. I'm poor. This is my poverty console. I mean, one day maybe I'll get a PS5 when people stop rioting over them. No, but I mean, I don't have the money right now, but I'd like one. By the way, my birthday is September the 4th. I'll be 50. So if somebody's feeling generous and wants to get me a PS5, I'm not going to say no. I'm going to be very appreciative. But yeah, PS poor. That's right. Yeah, that's right. Anyway, so like, what was I saying? Oh, so I used to go to the theater all the time. And the last time I went to a theater, I saw Joker. That was probably the last thing I saw in the movies. And I wasn't even in Chicago. It wasn't with my boys. I was in Canada. I was visiting Allison and Jonathan. I was up there for some work stuff, and we had some time to spare. I think we were free one night, and we were like, let's go to the movies. And Joker had just come out in the theater, so we went and watched Joker. That was the last time I went to the movie theater. So like, COVID happened. That basically put the kibosh on all of that, and I haven't been to a theater since. And then you're in Switch. What do you mean Switch? Oh, Nintendo Switch? I have a PS4. I'm sorry. That's all I got. I don't have any other console. I mean, I have a PS3, a PS2, a Dreamcast, but like as far as like current machines, all I have is my PlayStation 4. So sorry. But you know, if you end up getting on the network, you can just add me on there. So, but anyway, so I haven't been to theater in that long, and I wanted to go to the movies. Like I've been wanting to go to the movies since I had to stop going to the movies for a while because my friends weren't going. Like they were all panicked about COVID, and you know we weren't able to travel. Then Lindsay and I moved out here, and like because of Jojo, we couldn't find anybody to watch our dogs, so we couldn't really go out. And so we've been like meeting people, and so we have a neighbor that she's really nice, and she has a dachshund, and named Jasper, and she watches JoJo for us sometimes. So I asked her, you know, if you could watch JoJo because I want to go to the movies. And she said, sure. And so I said, Lindsay, we're going to go watch Sound of Freedom. And Lindsay was like, oh, I don't know if I can handle it, like emotionally, because, you know, people who saw it, they were like, oh, this is really heavy stuff. And I think Blair White made a video about it where she said she walked out about halfway through. And I thought it was because she was offended by something, but it turned out it was because it was too, you know, it was too heavy for her. And I was like, wow, I definitely want to see this, right? I mean, I kind of thought, it's probably a little blown out of proportion because I've watched a lot of movies in the theater, and I've watched movies that people consider heavy, like, you know, Black Hawk Down, for example, which I think is a fucking great movie. But there were people, like guys that I know, that are like vets, and they were like, oh, I can't watch that movie. Like, it's too, you know, it tugs at the heartstrings. Or movies about child kidnapping and stuff, right? Where guys who are like fathers, you know, they have a hard time with that. So I was like, all right, well, we'll watch it. Anyway, long story short, I finally am going to the theater. We park, we go inside the AMC. I buy my tickets at the door because, again, you know, I didn't think Sound of Freedom was packed or anything. They were at the same time, like, you know, Barbie was still doing really big in theaters. It's like made $1 billion. Oppenheimer is still in theaters. And then the Ninja Turtles movie just came out. So I was like, well, and Haunted Mansion too. So between all those, I don't think anyone's going to be in Sound of Freedom, right? Because that movie came out on July 4th, and anyone who was going to go see it probably saw it in the first couple of weeks. So I figured by then it was empty. And so we bought our tickets, we go and we sit, and yeah, I mean, it wasn't packed, and it wasn't even a big theater, but it was probably like half full of people. And I was like, oh, it's nice that, you know, because I'm in Virginia, which is kind of I wouldn't say it's a red state or a red part of the state, but it's definitely a more balanced, you know, there's a more balanced outlook. Like in Chicago, it's basically a communist city, and I know that people think I throw the word commie around too easily, but no, it's seriously a commie city. Like, there's a communist party and they have a headquarters in Chicago, and it's not hidden or anything. The bookstore by my house was Maoist, and the lesbian that ran it wore like a shirt with Mao's face on it. So no, not hiding at all, right? There's Antifa flags on people's front porches like they're American flags, like straight up black and red flags. So here you get a mix. You get not necessarily commies here, but you get Democrats, which is pretty close, and you get conservatives and American flags. Like, people, they have the American flag on their porch without shame, and then occasionally you run into a place that has a pride flag instead, because that's the new regime, right? So anyway, so I'm in there and we're watching the movie. It's like 25 minutes of fucking ads and trailers, which Lindsay says that's always been the case, but I feel like this is just like way too much. And then I'm sitting there, and 20 minutes into the movie, 20 minutes in, maybe 25, the alarm goes off, and we all have to leave. Like, the fire alarm went off or something, and the movie was canceled, and I got vouchers to come back another time while I was there watching Sound of Freedom. Now, to be fair, when I went outside, there was this massive rainstorm. Like, it was thunder, lightning, and it was pouring rain. And the employee, because I asked him what happened, and the employee said that, like, they got like a notice or an alarm that there might have been like a fire or something in the building. Can you join? The ID is one. How do I do that? Hold on a second. How do I join with an ID? Chicago is getting what it deserves. Yeah, right, I know. Maybe it's versus? Or no, it's probably online, right? Hold on a second. Salazar, I don't know how to do this, but I'm gonna figure it out. Online host. So are you hosting right now? Should I host? Oh, I see. Session ID set. Let's see. No, wait, how do I do it? Oh, confirm session ID? Oh. Should I... Wait, you're hosting, so I gotta quit and join yours. How do I join, though? I will join you. Oh, okay. So you gotta put my number in then. So let's see if it works. Are you trying cross-platform? Because I don't know if this works cross-platform. Alright, let's do it. So, custom match. Did I pick host? Player match? Host match, sorry. Session ID set. Let's do, I guess, normal. Alright, and then here's the session ID. I guess you gotta enter it. I don't know how that works on your end. So you should see it on the screen. Okay. Sounds like your movie-going experience was disrupted by postmodern Norwegian storms. Yeah, some groups are trying to prevent... Well, that's the thing that I thought was really weird, because I saw, like, when the new movie first came out, there were, like, all of these videos that people were sharing of themselves in the theater, and things like the air conditioning was turned off or not working for some reason, or the lights were on while they were trying to watch, or the alarms were pulled or went off or whatever, and it made people really suspicious, because you know, like... Maybe because every theater has problems sometimes like that, although I've never experienced it myself. I remember one time, you know, a movie, like the film cut off and it was like a technical problem, but it wasn't like the movie was controversial. I don't even remember what movie it was. Maybe it was Inception or something. Anyway, but when you look at that in the pattern, it does look really fishy, right? And Lindsay was like, oh no, it's probably not that. But like the people in the audience with me when this happened, they were like, they really don't want us to watch this movie. Like they saw all these viral videos of like the film being interrupted for one reason or another. I can't say whether or not it was intentional, but it really is weird. Like I have never had that happen. And I used to go to the movies all the time. It doesn't work because you on PS4. Yeah, that's what I thought. It's okay. I will just quit out. I appreciate the try. Anyway, let me see what time it is. 3, 4. I got like 10 minutes, so I'll just play one quick arcade mode. So anyway, yeah, it was RLM was claiming that most theaters were empty and that tickets bought by the production company. Oh yeah, that's another thing that I noticed too, is that people were saying that they would see online that the tickets were almost sold out or whatever, and that they barely got in, and then they go in and there was nobody there. It was like somebody was buying the tickets specifically so that the seats would be taken, but they wouldn't go watch the movie, which is weird because it means that the film still made money, but maybe they're not concerned with the film's financial success and more concerned with whether or not people see it, right? It's crazy, man. You know, I think that honestly, and I've been seeing this for a very long time, a very, very long time. This is not a new thing that just started happening like 10 years ago. You know, all this woke stuff in movies. It's been going on for a really long time. It's just that for me, because I was sort of, and I think most of us were kind of conditioned by this stuff, I didn't really see it like, you know, when I was watching films in the 80s. Well, not the 80s, but the 90s was when it probably really kicked off, although it was probably always a thing, you know, to some degree, but I didn't notice. So, you know, I think that it's just become more obvious now, but I don't think it's new. So what was I gonna say? Oh, excuse me. So yeah, so that was weird. We didn't get to watch it, but I do have vouchers, so I'm gonna try and watch it again. And by the way, guys, if you're not already a member, go to Badger Livestream or Hunt. I'm sorry. Let me start over. If you're not a member, you want to become a part of the Badger clan, go to feedthebadger.com and start a monthly subscription, and that will get you into our Discord. Or if you go to badgernation.online, you can experience the Discord for free, but it's like limited access. So one of the things that I love is JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Not the only thing, but it's one of my favorite things. And I've started showing or streaming showings of the series. Last weekend on Saturday, I shared the first 5 episodes of the very first arc, which is Phantom Blood, which is features Jonathan as the main character, and I got 5 episodes in, and so this coming Saturday I'm gonna do the remainder of Phantom Blood, which is 4. There's 9 episodes in total for Phantom Blood, so 4 episodes of that to end it, and then I'm gonna start Battle Tendency, which is the second part, which features Joseph as the main character. And I probably will only get like 1 or 2 episodes into Battle Tendency that weekend. And what I'm going to try and do is go through everything that's been made into an animation so far, which is basically parts 1 through 6. So, and yeah, you should, if you want to watch it, or if you've seen it already but you don't mind watching it again, or if you're interested, because like I usually offer like a little bit of talk afterwards. I've read most of what was printed in manga. I know that Araki's still currently working on part 9, and I haven't even started that one yet. I'm close to the end of part 8. I just haven't made the time, but we are going to be watching it on Saturday, and probably at like 10 a.m. Eastern time. So, because that's what I did last time, so I'm going to try and do it again this time, 10 a.m. Eastern. So, go to the Discord and join us so you can do the viewing with us next Saturday. All right, let's see. Who's RLM? RLM was claiming that most theaters were empty, tickets bought by the production company. Not sure what degree they were joking. I think it does happen to some degree. I don't know to what degree you were a fan of Night of the Living Dead remake. I did like Night of the Living Dead remake, actually. That's the Zack Snyder's best movie, in my opinion. I mean, it's not saying a lot, because I hated Man of Steel. And his Justice League movie, I mean, I don't know. He's really overrated. Watchmen, it was okay. I think Night of the Living Dead is actually his best movie, and that doesn't necessarily mean I think it's a great movie, though. It's a good movie, though. I have it. I think it's fun. But much fuzz has continuously been made throughout the years about the strong female lead character. Yeah. But the movie was from 1990 when women were still seen as chattel. No, not Dawn. Oh, Night. Oh, I don't know if I saw the Night of the Living Dead remake. You know, the original Night of the Living Dead featured a black man, but he was the main character, but despite what reviewers and like these people, Red Letter Media, okay. Despite what these people claim, people think that Night of the Living Dead, the original, the black and white one by George Romero, was supposed to be like racial commentary, but it's not. Like George A. Romero even said, he just cast that guy because he thought he was good. See, like that, I mean, people inferred it because, they only see skin color, but frankly, it's simply a case of, I mean, he was kind of like, I wouldn't say he made the first zombie movie because that wouldn't be true, but he was the first one to make it into a, like sort of like bring it into its own genre, What's your favorite movie? That's a big ask, man. I guess it depends on what era we're talking about or genre. I love movies though. It's hard. So, it changes all the time. I have like a bunch of movies here. I'm just looking at my collection. I could name a few. I really like, like Lord of the Rings is like one of my favorites. I think it's one of the best trilogies ever made. Like, I mean, like honestly, like as long as they are and everything, It's like, I think a movie's quality is based in its symbolism, its trueness, like how truthful it is about reality. I know Lord of the Rings is not a documentary. I'm saying that, but the themes in it are true, if that makes sense. Not factual, but true. So, love Lord of the Rings. Those are like some of my favorites. I actually like The Hobbit. I know a lot of people don't like those movies. I thought the Hobbit movies were good. Not as good as Lord of the Rings, but still good. I've never seen Good Will Hunting. But, I mean, there's a lot of movies I missed out on because when I was younger, I didn't have the money to go to the movies, and we didn't have cable. Like, you know, the idea of, like, having VHS tapes and stuff like that for us when I was growing up, it wasn't really within reach. I didn't have those until I had moved out and I was like living on my own and making my own money. And by that time, it was like the 90s. So I kind of missed out on those things. But I heard it's a good movie. I never saw Forrest Gump either. Like, there's certain things, you know, I just like Forrest Gump, it was so overhyped, I just didn't want to watch it. But some other movies I really like. So as far as comedies go, Airplane. Airplane's the best comedy to me, period. Love it. But I saw Titanic, it's okay. I think, again, it's probably way too long. It's alright, you know, Avatar, like that was alright. Like, I watched it once, I never watched it again. I'm not talking about The Last Airbender, I never saw that. I'm talking about the James Cameron one. Movies that are symbolically powerful are some of my favorites. So Predator is a perfect film in my opinion. Okay, it is Beowulf, and the thing about James McTiernan, he's the guy who made Predator and he made Die Hard and he gave us Last Action Hero. All of these were made as kind of deconstructions of the action hero of the 80s, but he actually ends up encapsulating the essence of those better than the movies he's trying to lampoon. The Revenant with Leonardo DiCaprio is good. Yes, that's a good movie. Clint Eastwood directed movies. Yes. Great movies. I mean, Unforgiven, that's like one of the best westerns. Also, Tombstone, very Hollywood, but I love that movie. Tombstone is so good. Gladiator, great fucking movie. I like manly movies like that. Kingdom of Heaven, the director's cut, excellent. Last of the Mohicans, fucking, it gets the panties wet. Okay, but it's a good movie. It's a manly ass fucking movie, man. So yeah, Last of the Mohicans is really good. I like, let's see. Animated films, I like The Incredibles. I think The Incredibles is... Oh, Last Samurai, beautiful. Rocky, like all of them. Even the bad ones. Lindsay and she never seen any of them, right? So I'm like, let's watch Rocky. And we watched the first one, and she was hooked. And I mean, the first one is so good. Like, Stallone just wanted a chance, and he made himself into an icon. There's nobody else that's better for that. That's like the true story of like, hey, if you want it, you can get it, right? That's what Rocky's about, and that's what Stallone's career was about. Because he wasn't getting work. He was like, he played like, you know, bit parts, like thugs and stuff, right? And then he tried this, no budget, you know, shot it all in Philadelphia, locally, boom, a fucking Oscar winner. Rocky's great. I like Rambo too. Rambo's, again, another movie. You're not supposed to like it, but Rambo's great. Everything Schwarzenegger is in, most of it, great. I love Total Recall is really good. Running Man is good. These are all fun. Predator, like I said, perfect fucking movie. John Carpenter, he's a lefty, but he makes good movies, and he has an understanding of the human condition, that he can make films even though he's got a point of view that he's putting out there. What's expressed is pretty much like universal. So, you know, They Live, he was thinking about something completely different, but it's relevant today. They Live, Big Trouble in Little China, one of my favorite movies. It's absolutely, Big Trouble in Little China is another perfect film. People like Roger Ebert hated it. He thought it was racist when the movie came out in the 80s, right? He said it's racist, it's like, you know, bad Oriental stereotypes, etc. Fucking Orientals are in the movie, like a lot of them. Like, he cast a bunch of Asians in the movie. But again, we as Westerners are supposed to like be angry about that. And he did a good job. Big Trouble in Little China, so fun. Like, it's such a good movie, man. I love that movie. It deserves the cult status. Speaking of cult flicks, again, I mentioned They Live. The Thing, you know, that movie did not do well in theaters when it came out. Fucking great movie. The Aliens movies, the first two, chef's kiss, great. After that, it's still not bad. Like, Alien 3, the director's cut of that is pretty solid. Alien 4 Resurrection, it's weak, but it's still kind of fun if you just want to see more xenomorph shit. The Professional is good, although there's some pedo shit in that I'm not really sure how to feel about. Donnie Darko is kind of, I think that's like hipster, like head up your ass stuff. I'm not a big fan. I've watched it twice and I'm just not, I like the music, the soundtrack's great, but if Ebert thought that was bad, he should have seen the martial arts films that came out of China in the 70s. Love Kung Fu movies, man. I love Kung Fu movies. Love them. And I'm not just talking about the Jackie Chan ones like Drunken Master 2, Iron Monkey. I mean like the old Shaw Brothers stuff. I have like, again, I have a collection. The Kid with the Golden Arm. There's Five Deadly Venoms, one of my favorite movies as a kid. When it came on TV on a Saturday, like Samurai Sunday it was called. Man, Five Deadly Venoms, Super Ninjas, Shaolin versus Wu-Tang, the 36 Chamber of Shaolin, those are all great. Eight directional pole fighter, fucking great movies, man. I love Kung Fu movies. Yeah, The Flying Guillotine, The Man from Earth, I don't know what that, I think I've heard that before. But yeah, there's tons of good movies. I mean, there aren't really any more. But I might have seen that before, but I'm not sure. Super Cop is good. You know, I mean, there's a lot of good movies. But sometimes, like, Sammo Hung did a couple of really great flicks, too. I think there was, like, Close Encounters of the Spooky Kind or something like that. I have that one. It's great. I mean, there's just so many good movies, man. China O'Brien, what's her name? That's not her real name. That's a character she played. This white chick, kind of thick. She did these China O'Brien movies where she was like a martial artist. But before that, she was doing these Hong Kong action flicks. Cynthia Rothrock, that's her name. Just a badass bitch, man. Like, Cynthia Rothrock was the shit in these Hong Kong flicks. I think she was very underutilized in America. Or the West in general, like, but she did really good in Hong Kong. Another good example of that is Donnie Yen. Donnie Yen in, like, I think the best thing I've seen him in a Western film is John Wick, and even then, he's underused. Like, I mean, like, when you watch the shit that he was doing before, like Michelle Yeoh and those, fucking bad. One of my favorites, I don't think she does it anymore, but there was this Japanese woman named Yukari Oshima who did, a lot of great kung fu flicks. That was a badass bitch too. Oh man, it was like those, and she was like, you know, these women that did these kung fu flicks, they were just like the men. They would take hits, they would throw themselves around, they would do their own stunts. It was great. It was great. But we don't do that anymore. Nobody wants to do that. Like, and I don't just mean because whammons. I mean like nobody does stunts anymore of their own. That's why Tom Cruise is so big, because he's one of the few people that does it. He's one of the few people that was like, yeah, I'll fucking hang on to the side of an airplane. I'll hang off the side of a building. I'll ride a motorcycle off a cliff, you know? And it's like, people want to see that. And like guys like Jackie Chan, he's not as young as he used to be. So he can't really, you know, do that, like that stuff anymore, at least not to the same degree, which is a shame, because there should be like a protege, somebody who's like picking up that torch, you know, and carrying that for him. But like nobody, I don't think anyone's really doing it. Speaking of Western movies, I have a guilty pleasure flick. I have some guilty pleasure flick. One of them is a movie called The Forbidden Kingdom, I think, or The Forgotten Kingdom. Check if you know what I'm talking about. It's an American film, but it has Jackie Chan and Jet Li in it. And Jet Li plays a white monk, and he plays the Monkey King, Sun Wukong, and Jackie Chan plays like a drunken fighter guy, right? And the story is fine, like, you know, it's good, like, for what it is, right? But The best part of that is the fight between Jackie Chan and Jet Li. Man, that is one of the best fights, you know, in any kung fu movie. But it's worth the price of the film by itself. Like, I love that fight. And you know, the thing is, it's kung fu fights that are well done. They're not. Well, obviously, they're not really fighting, right? It's a dance. So it's a dance with choreography, and watching the dance unfold. It's fucking amazing. Like, I love that stuff. I'm also a huge fan of pulp flicks, so or stuff that is inspired by like sort of like superhero stuff. I like superhero stuff too, but there's stuff that came before, like pulp stuff. So there's a movie with Billy Zane called The Phantom. Guilty pleasure, but I like it. The Shadow. I like that movie too. You know, it's a lot of fun. The Rocketeer is a great movie. I love that movie. Joe Johnston, the director of The Rocketeer, he also was involved with the Young Indiana Jones series. That was a TV series. And he made the first Captain America movie, which is one of my favorite Marvel movies. I think very underrated. Joe Johnston's great about that. You could tell that he loves this country in a way, because he sort of like, you know, presents this kind of I don't know how to put it. It's like very wholesome content. And in The Rocketeer, you get like Jennifer Connelly. She's fucking boning in that movie. Like, she is hot. Okay? Zarek says, women being active in their roles is why I watch Angelina Jolie and Milla Jovovich. That's why I watch Ultraviolet. I went specifically because of the action I saw in the trailers. Yeah. Strange Days, that's a good movie, yeah. Strange Days is good. Anyway, you're on death row. What's the last film going to be? Well, I'll watch the Lord of the Rings trilogy because it gives me like 12 hours. I get to stay alive for 12 more hours, I guess. I don't know. I like a lot of movies, you know. I like a lot of different things. I'm all over the place, you know. So, but look, I gotta go. It's 4:08. I gotta get ready for the show. So unfortunately, I'm not gonna be able to play anymore. But it was nice talking to you guys, anyways. So anyway, in closing, so yeah, talking about on the new show tonight, we're gonna talk about this Sound of Freedom donor guy that's been accused of some shit. I want to see, if you want to see good, yeah, I started Attack on Titan. I think that there's plenty of guys in comics that are doing well. They're just not in the big two, and in Japan too. Although Japan is getting it, they're getting feminism. They are. So it's only a matter of time before the content changes. But like, at least right now, there's more creative license and freedom in countries outside of America. France, for example, is like killing it in comics right now. So. All right. So anyway, we're talking about Anita Sarkeesian. We're talking about this guy, and in the Sound of Freedom donor guy. We're also going to be talking about this thing that the ESRB, that's like the electronic, the games people that basically give the ratings to games. They're going to be like scanning faces or something, and people are accusing them of like, because it's children that play video games, right? So they're kind of creepy, right? So if you have like a webcam or something, like I do, the ESRB is gonna like take scans of people's faces. They're saying it so they can identify the age of the person playing the game, so they don't play anything that they're not supposed to. But I have my doubts. And then the last thing is this thing with NASA, where they had this probe that they sent out, and they lost it, and it was right after they hired a woman to be the head of this program. So, but there's more to the story. Jojo is asking me to feed him, so I gotta like take off, guys. But thanks so much for hanging out. Sorry that we didn't get too much into it. I did get to play one match. Jojo, shut up. But I will see you guys soon. Probably Saturday I'll come back on and we'll do some Star Wars, because I need to catch up on that. So thanks guys so much for hanging out on the stream, and I'll talk to you all later.